Welcome to Meet the Press Now. I'm Garrett Hake in Washington, where the Supreme Court is now poised to play an even greater role in the 2024 election after Colorado's highest court barred Donald Trump from appearing on that state's presidential primary ballot. In an explosive 4-3 decision late yesterday, the state's Supreme Court ruled that the former president and current Republican frontrunner violated the 14th Amendment's insurrection clause and was therefore disqualified from holding the office of president. The court's Democratic majority found that, quote, President Trump did not merely incite the January 6th insurrection. Even when the siege on the Capitol was fully underway, he continued to support it. These actions constituted overt, voluntary, and direct participation in the insurrection. The court put its own ruling on pause to allow for an appeal to the Supreme Court, which the Trump team says it plans to do. President Biden addressed the court's decision today on his way to an event in Wisconsin.
Well, I think certain things are self-evident. You saw it all. Now, whether the 14th Amendment applies, I'll let the court make that decision. But he certainly supported an insurrection. And no question about it. None. Zero. And he seems to be doubling down on about everything.
Former President Trump didn't mention the ruling during a rally last night in Iowa, although his campaign is already fundraising off the news. And Republicans are rallying behind their primary frontrunner, including the ones running against him.
I expect that to be reversed by the U.S. Supreme Court. I think the precedent that a court could just take somebody off the ballot without even any type of criminal conviction or anything like that, I think that is not the way the law is intended to be enforced.
We don't need to have judges making these decisions. We need voters to make these decisions. So I want to see this in the hands of the voters.
And so, actually, on the way on the bus ride over here, I said that I would, from Colorado's GOP primary, withdraw from that name and require every other Republican in this race to do the same thing, at least until every candidate actually gets to run.
I do not believe Donald Trump should be prevented from being president of the United States by any court. I think he should be prevented from being president of the United States by the voters of this country.
So brace yourself, folks, because an unprecedented web of legal and constitutional questions facing a criminally indicted presidential frontrunner who's accused of engaging in an insurrection has now gotten somehow even more unprecedented as we head into an election year in which the courtroom may matter just as much, if not more, than what happens on the campaign trail.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.